Today, I want to talk to you about war. And this is a huge, huge thing, and maybe we all don't have the same opinions, and maybe you do not share mine. Let me tell you a little something that my opinion on opinions is you can have a different opinion than me, and I will listen respectfully, and I won't hate you for it, and I won't call you names. And that is something that has become out of control in our country. The way that our country has become divided, the citizens. And let me tell you that that is done purposefully. That is one way that they control us, they being the politicians, the corrupt, the corporations who are controlling the politicians and the media. When we're divided, we're not as strong. So yeah, of course, let's start a rift between people. Let's make the Democrats and Republicans hate each other and fight so much that they lose sight of the real issues in the country. So, well, they're just spouting out nasty words like snowflake, yada, yada. No one's even paying attention to the policies anymore. It's just like a battle. Me against you, right against left. And the issues are going unseen because people are so, just like I said, it's like a football team. I'm a Republican and I just vote for Republicans. I don't read policies. I don't pay attention to what they're saying because you Democrats, you snowflakes, you liberals, yee. That's not the way it should be, but that's the way they want it to be in this country, and that's what keeps us divided and weak. One of the many tactics that they use. So anyways, back to war. What am I saying? Well, I want to talk about war. I want to talk about war. I want to talk about the deception, the lies, the corruption, the propaganda. I mean, and this is the same, it goes along the same lines of how they turn citizens against each other with propaganda. It's like if they put it out into the media, it saturates people's minds and people can no longer think freely for themselves. They're not thinking for themselves because corporate media and the politicians are all paid by the billion-dollar corporations to do their bidding. And war plays a huge role in this for many reasons. War, it generates billions of dollars for the rich, for the corporations. So what's going on in Syria? As you know, last week, the United States bombed Syria. Again. Because Assad, he launched a chemical attack on his people. Oh my God. Well, if you're a good moral person, you have to stand behind our country when they go in and bomb that horrible Assad for killing those people. Fruit flies. Wow. Okay. That was all over the media. Oh, Assad's so bad, he bombed his people. Do you know how many civilians and children the United States has been bombing and killing in Syria and in Yemen? Last year, in March alone, March 2017, 1,000 civilians were killed in Yemen by US-led airstrikes. That's 1 month. Was that all over the news? Was that on CNN, Fox News? Hell no, it wasn't. Go to Air Wars. That's from airwars.com. Go to Air Wars. They report all the civilian casualties in Syria and Yemen and different areas of the Middle East. Literally, since Trump became president, unbelievable. Thousands upon thousands of children and elderly people are killed all the time in U.S. air raids. And then all of a sudden, Oh, Assad, chemical warfare, 40 to 60 people died. Let's start a world war. Bullshit. Anybody who's paying attention, which seems like nobody is paying attention, would know that the United States has absolutely zero interest in the lives of children or civilians in the Middle East. Case in point, Yemen. Yemen. We have been bombing and attacking Yemen for so long. We give weapons to Saudi Arabia. Saudi Arabia then uses those weapons to create genocide in Yemen. There is now a huge cholera outbreak. The largest cholera outbreak in history. Predicted 1 million people will die, 600,000 of them being children. Whoa! Oh my God! Do you see the United States over there helping them? No. No, we're not. Well, how about that? Because the United States has destabilized Yemen, and that cholera is because we've destroyed their sewer system. We completely destroyed it. And now they're also facing one of the largest famines of all time. Is that on CNN? Are people talking about that on Facebook? But Assad, chemical attack on his people. Let's go start a world war. Here's another thing about that. We didn't even do an investigation, right? How strange. I'm going to go drop bombs on Syria when I haven't even done an investigation. Trump wanted to do it quick. Do it quick, right away. Why? Because he didn't want to wait around to find out that it wasn't Assad. He didn't want to wait around to find out, for the proof. So he did it. And let me tell you, he profited from that. A lot of people profited billions of dollars from that. Let me give you the numbers. How much that cost the United States. How much profit. So this is CNBC. U.S. taxpayers paid millions of dollars for airstrikes on Syria. Here's a breakdown of the key costs. U.S. forces fired, and this is double what they did last year at this time. So last year at this time, just divide this by 2. That's what we did. That's the money we blew over there last time. U.S. forces fired 66 Tomahawk cruise missiles on 3 Syrian targets early morning local time, making for a price tag of $92.4 million alone in missiles. There are people in Flint, Michigan who don't have water still after 4 years. 4 years. What was the number on that? Karen Weaver said it would cost $55 million in Flint, Michigan to replace their pipelines so that people could finally drink water that's not poisoned, shower in water that's not poisoned. So children, oh my God, the children have been attacked by gas. We need to start a world war. What did I just say? 55,000? The children in Flint, Michigan are poisoned. And you just spent $92.4 million on missiles. And let me tell you, it was a false flag. That's my opinion. You're free for yours. But I'll tell you why I think it's a false flag. And that's not even all. I'm yelling now. I'm a peaceful person. The U.S. fired 19 of a different kind of missile on Syria for a cost of $26.6 million. The final bill isn't clear. So there's $92.4 million. There's $26.6 million. Listen to this. With an estimated cost, this is the Raytheon Tomahawk. One Raytheon Tomahawk missile cost $1.4 million. And Trump is cutting funding for after-school programs, has cut after-school programs for children, summer school programs for children. If you have food stamps to save money, Trump no longer wants to give you fresh fruit and meat. You're only going to be able to have canned food and dry food. Double whammy, because then you're going to end up with cancer. And then we can get all the money from you from the pharmaceuticals. Okay, where was I? So, right, Syria. We dropped the bombs. We didn't wait. There's many reasons for this. Why should we have an investigation? Maybe because the last 2 times we dropped bombs in Syria, when Assad attacked the people with chemicals, it was proven to be false. Wait a minute, it was false? Last year, it wasn't Assad? We didn't have proof? Wait a minute, when Obama dropped bombs on Syria because of Assad's chemical attacks, it wasn't true? It wasn't, we didn't have proof? No, we didn't. Okay, so why? Barack Obama bombing in Syria the first time. After the bombing, May 7th, 2013, the UN came out with an official report saying Syrian rebels, they accused Syrian rebels of carrying out the sarin gas attack, which had been previously blamed on Assad's troops. May 7th, 2013, the UN said it was Syria, it was the rebels, it was ISIS, it was Al-Qaeda, it was not Assad. First one, oh, sorry for dropping bombs on you. Sorry for spending the United States money on dropping bombs instead of infrastructure. Last year, bombing Syria. After they did it, General Mattis came out and said that the U.S. and its allies had no evidence that the Syrian regime carried out the attack. Newsweek. Lost in the hyper-politicized hullabaloo surrounding the Nunes Memorandum and the Steele dossier was the striking statement by Secretary of Defense James Mattis that the U.S. had no evidence that the Syrian government used banned nerve agent sarin against its own people. Isn't that funny? Lost in the hyper-politicized hullabaloo. What's being lost in the hyper-politicized hullabaloo of Stormy Daniels? The same thing. You know what happened too after this, after Trump dropped the bombs the first time? Trump said his ratings went up. He calls them his ratings. Trump's ratings went up because American citizens think that it's patriotic to kill people in the Middle East because they're all ISIS. They're all terrorists. Kill them all. Kill them all. What did Trump say when he was on one of his campaign speeches? Said, and I don't know, I don't have it here, but he said something like, I would drop bombs on them, kill them all, and take their oil. Kill them and kill their families. And he did say, and take their oil. And we'll talk about oil, because oil has a huge, huge role to play in this. Wow. Oil has a huge role to play in everything shitty, doesn't it? I wonder why the U.S. doesn't want to move to renewable energy, because oil makes everyone so much money. We can go to war for oil. War so we can get paid for the arms race and we can get money from oil. It's wonderful. Well, I just love the politicians in the United States. War is patriotic. We have to protect ourselves. We have to protect ourselves from those terrorists because they kill people. And it's our moral duty as Americans. I mean, just think about it. How many people are dying? Our pipes are deteriorating and lead is leaching into the water. And this is going to change the future of American citizens because all the children are being infected with lead poisoning. And that it's a neurological thing, lower IQ, attention deficit disorder, proclivity to violence, depression. So why are we dropping bombs in other countries when it would take $300 billion to fix the pipes in the United States? And we have to do it. I mean, I don't even hear a politician talking about plans to do that. This isn't a small thing either. This is huge. When you have a child who becomes an adult, who has a proclivity to violence, attention deficit disorder, lower IQ, and physical problems, you have then an adult who might end up in jail. Yay, great, the politicians love that, more people in jail. You have a child who is not going to have be able to hold a job, who is not going to be able to, or who's going to be sick. Yay, pharmaceuticals. I mean, it's just this big web of, I feel like the war is being waged against the people in the country more than anything else. So, yeah, $300 billion to replace all the pipes in the United States. Trump cut, and we're talking about how much money did I just say he spent on bombs? And Trump cut after school programs for schools, summer schools. Like I said, he's changing it so people who gather food stamps, who have food stamps can no longer have fresh produce and meat, but have to have canned or pre-packed items that are they're not healthy for you. They're, they make people sick. These are some of the cuts he made. He had to save money. Trump had to save money, right? Meanwhile, we're spending billions on bombs. Education department, he cut $4.9 billion. Community learning centers, literacy development grants, education opportunity grants, student support, and academic enrichment grants. Those are just some of the few. Health and human services, $4.8 billion. He needs to cut. He needs to trim off, trim off the fat from the meat. Got to save some money so we can go drop bombs. Health and human services, healthcare research and quality, health professions and nursing training, low-income home energy assistance programs, homeland security. $235 million he cut from Homeland Security, including flood hazard mapping and flood and hurricane risk analysis programs. He cut programs, and then he goes to the areas in the United States that are flooding. We care so much about you. Thoughts and prayers, thoughts and prayers. But I'm going to cut $235 million to Homeland Security, including the funds that will help people in hurricanes and floods. Makes a lot of sense, no? Also, he cut funding for Senior Citizens Community Service Employment Program. Well, screw the senior citizens. They're at the end of their life anyways. Doesn't really matter, does it? Really? This stuff isn't on the news. Can you imagine if this was on the news? Corporate media news? Why not? Why wasn't there a full program on all these the cuts that he made? Hello, people on food stamps. You can no longer get fresh fruit and meat. No, that's not on the news. State Department, U.S. Aid and Treasury Department, $1.5 million, $1.5 billion. He cut, including Green Climate Fund and Global Climate Change Initiative. Of course, because climate change is a hoax. It's that Chinese hoax, good old Chinese hoax. But interesting how they're leading the way in renewable energy while we are pushing coal. Dramatic pause. Brain explodes. Sometimes it feels like it's a bad dream, doesn't it? It's not hopeless, by the way, not by far. I don't report to make people feel angry and hopeless. No. When we are united, we have the power. And I believe that. But we do have to get the truth out, and that's, again, why it's important to fund something like this, to fund independent media, so that we can get more reporters out there into the street, so that we can go into the communities, go into the neighborhoods, and see and hear exactly what's happening and report it. And you can share that on Facebook, and you can share that verbally with people, and we can finally start breaking through the lies and spreading the truth.